All right, first things first. Andy Reid finally talked to reporters after the bye, and we've got some real clarity on who's trending back toward the roster for Sunday. I'm going to run you through the updates quickly so you know what to expect. If you're new here, please hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 6,000 subscribers, and every single sub helps get more Chiefs coverage to people who care like you do. Also drop a like if you're into daily KC updates. Here's the rundown. Josh Simmons is back with the team. That's huge news on paper. The left tackle spot is the difference between a broken-up passing game and Mahomes having time to work. Reid said, pretty plainly, "We'll see about Simmons's return to the lineup." Translation: he's back, but whether he's starting depends on how ready he looks in practice and whether the coaches feel comfortable with his conditioning and reps. I expect him out there, but the coaches hold all the cards. Isaiah Pacheco is dealing with a sprained MCL. That's a classic week-to-week injury. You can get the initial time back from a bye week, but often it's 3 weeks or more before you're truly effective. The safe play here is patience. The Chiefs didn't add a big-name running back at the deadline, so yes, there's pressure for Pacheco to return. But rushing him could cost the team in the long run, especially with December and January coming up. Jawan Taylor left the Buffalo game with an ankle concern, but reportedly felt okay after the trip. That's encouraging for the right tackle spot. I'd pencil him in to play in Denver unless something pops up in practice this week. Trey Smith. There was silence, which usually means the bye helped him. Expect him to be trending toward availability. Quick interaction for you. Do you want Simmons to start Sunday? Type yes or no in the comments right now. I'll read the best takes and call some out in later chapters. Also vote below in the comments. Rush Pacheco or rest Pacheco. One last practical note. If Simmons can't go and the Chiefs are forced into a backup LT at Mile High against the NFL's best sack machine, that makes this matchup a different animal. So these injury reads aren't just roster news, they change the game plan. Stick around. Next chapter, I'll break down Simmons' situation and exactly why the left tackle decision could decide Sunday. If you want this channel to keep covering these breakdowns, smash that subscribe button and help us reach $6,000. And don't forget to like the video. So let's talk about the real headline, Josh Simmons. He's officially back, but the question hanging in the air is whether he's actually ready to suit up and play meaningful snaps this Sunday. Andy Reid said, quote, "We'll see in terms of his return to the lineup." That's not exactly a ringing endorsement, and it opens up a big discussion about how this situation has been handled. Here's what we know. Simmons missed time for a personal matter. Totally understandable. Life happens. But the issue isn't about why he was gone. It's what happened while he was gone. Andy initially said he wasn't sure if Simmons had been working out during that time, and then later confirmed that he had been training. That's important because if he's been keeping himself in shape, there's no physical excuse for him not to be on the field. But here's where things get tricky. If Simmons isn't ready, that's a huge red flag. Not just physically, but mentally. It would raise questions about his focus, his preparation, and whether his heart is in it right now. Because look, this isn't a game where you can ease back in. The Denver Broncos lead the NFL in sacks and are on pace to break the all-time sack record. Their defensive front is absolutely terrifying, and Mahomes is going to need his blind side locked down. Now imagine going into that kind of pressure environment. The noise, the altitude, the relentless pass rush, and you're unsure who your left tackle even is. That's not where you want to be as an offense that's been inconsistent already this year. Some fans have pointed out another issue. If Simmons wasn't physically ready, the Chiefs could have placed him on IR or another list, freeing up a roster spot and avoiding this exact situation. But they didn't. They kept him active, which means they clearly believed he'd be ready to return quickly. That decision now looks questionable unless he's starting Sunday. And I'll be honest, he needs to start. In a game this important, you put your best on the field. Simmons is that guy when he's focused. He's young, powerful, and when locked in, he gives the line stability. I want to hear from you. Do you think Simmons should start no matter what? Or should the team play it safe and ease him in? Drop your take in the comments, and if you want to keep getting deep Chiefs breakdowns like this one, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now. We're pushing towards 6,000 subscribers, and every single one gets us closer. Next, we'll break down the running back situation. How long can the Chiefs hold out without Pacheco, and who steps up in his place? All right, let's dig into the backfield, because this is quietly one of the biggest storylines for Sunday. Isaiah Pacheco's sprained MCL isn't a paper cut. It's the kind of injury that can sap burst and confidence if you push it too soon. The bye week helped, sure, but most teams treat a sprained MCL like a multi-week recovery. Rushing him back for mile-high pressure? That's risky. Here's the practical reality. The Chiefs didn't bring in a game-changing running back at the deadline. No Bree Hall, no splash signing. That leaves the team banking on Pacheco returning healthy when it matters most, late December and into January. That's why patience makes sense from a team-building perspective. You'd rather have a fully functional Pacheco down the stretch than a half-speed back this week. Now, who steps up if Pacheco sits? There are a few elements to consider. Elijah Mitchell is on the roster, but he's been a healthy scratch a lot, which tells you two things. The coaches trust other guys in specific packages, and Mitchell's role is limited unless injuries force his hand. Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Reed specifically mentioned him for pass protection. That's huge. CEH's ability to slide into pass pro sets makes him valuable, especially if the game plan requires quick timing routes to beat Denver's pass rush. Expect Edwards-Helaire to see more third down and pass pro snaps if Pacheco is out. Schematically, the Chiefs can adjust. If Pacheco can't go, expect a higher volume of quick game concepts, screens, quick outs, Y crosses, and using Andy Reid's creativity to get the ball out fast. You might also see more 2TE looks and chip blocking from tight ends and running backs to help neutralize Denver's edge rushers. The goal is to prevent long holds where Mahomes gets exposed to the Broncos' sack numbers. Quick interaction. I want your vote. Who would you trust most in Denver if Pacheco sits? Type one name right now. CEH, Mitchell, or other. Name it. I'll spotlight the most popular picks in the final chapter. One more thing. Rushing Pacheco back isn't just about winning this week. It's about keeping him healthy for the playoff push. That long-term view matters more than a single regular season game, even one as important as this matchup. If the Chiefs manage his snaps smartly, they still have ways to win. But it will require quicker passing, smart chip blocking, and maybe leaning on play action less until the line settles. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. Remember, we're pushing to 6,000 subscribers so we can scale up coverage. Next up, why this Denver game is a must-win and the exact keys the Chiefs need to control on Sunday. This matchup against the Denver Broncos isn't just another game. It's the game that will define the rest of the Chiefs' season. Right now, Kansas City sits at 5-4, and Denver leads the AFC West at 8-2. The math is simple. If the Chiefs don't win this one, their chances of reclaiming the division practically disappear. That's not drama, that's reality. Let's look at what we're up against. The Broncos have one of the nastiest defenses in football. They lead the league in sacks, they're disciplined, and they can make even elite offenses look average. Their front seven has been a nightmare for quarterbacks all year, and it's not just pressure. They finish plays. Add in the altitude at mile high, where fatigue hits faster and recovery slows. And you've got a game where conditioning, timing, and discipline decide everything. Offensively, Denver isn't scaring anyone. Bo Nix has been stuck in a sophomore slump, struggling with consistency and decision-making. Their offense wins by grinding the clock, leaning on the run, and counting on their defense to bail them out late. Most of their wins have been one-score games, close, ugly, low-scoring battles. That tells you two things. They're resilient, but they're also beatable. Compare that to the Chiefs. Despite the injuries, this team has more talent, more experience, and more playmakers. But they've also been sloppy. Penalties, missed assignments, red zone inefficiency. This game is about tightening all of that up. If Kansas City can protect Mahomes, especially with Josh Simmons back, and sustain drives, they're the better football team by a mile. There's also the emotional angle. Think back to last year, that late-season game in Denver where the Chiefs rested starters and still got pushed around by the Broncos' backups. Andy Reid doesn't forget moments like that. This game is personal. It's about sending a message. The Chiefs still run the AFC West. And I'll be honest, this is where championship DNA shows. Reid and Mahomes are historically elite coming off a bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, reset, and focus on fundamentals. The best version of the Chiefs usually shows up right after the bye week, and they'll need that exact formula to silence Denver's defense. If they win this game, everything changes. You go from 5-4 to 6-4 with momentum and confidence heading into the stretch run. If they lose, you're staring at a potential wild-card fight and no home playoff game. Not ideal. So here's my challenge to you. Drop your score prediction in the comments right now. How do you see Chiefs versus Broncos ending? I'll shout out a few in our next breakdown. And don't forget, like this video and subscribe so we can hit that 6,000 subscriber goal before kickoff. Coming up in Chapter 5, we'll wrap everything up. The 3 biggest things to watch on Sunday, my quick prediction, and how this game could shift the entire AFC picture. All right, let's bring it all together. The Chiefs are heading into Denver with a ton on the line, and if there's one thing you should take away from all of this, it's that this team controls its destiny. No one's handing them the AFC West this year. They have to take it back, and it starts Sunday. Here are the 3 biggest things to watch in this game. 1. Josh Simmons versus the Broncos pass rush. We've talked about it all episode, but this really is the key matchup. If Simmons starts and plays like the guy we know he can be, Mahomes gets that critical pocket stability. If he struggles or looks rusty, Denver's edge rushers will have a field day. Simmons doesn't need to be perfect, but he has to be composed. The entire rhythm of the offense depends on it. 2. The running back rotation. If Isaiah Pacheco is inactive or limited, this becomes a huge test for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He doesn't have Pacheco's burst, but his pass protection is valuable, especially against a team that brings pressure on nearly every down. Keep an eye on whether Andy Reid leans on short, quick passes to simulate a run game. That could decide the pace of the first half. 3. The Chiefs' defense versus Bo Nix. Steve Spagnuolo has a golden opportunity here. Bo Nix has been rattled under pressure all season, and Spags is a master at disguising blitzes and forcing young quarterbacks into mistakes. If Kansas City's defense plays with energy and discipline, this could get ugly for Denver fast. Now for my quick take. I think the Chiefs come out with focus and aggression. Coming off a bye with Reid and Mahomes laser-focused, I see Kansas City winning this game. Not comfortably, but decisively. Something like 27-17. Chiefs feels right, but that's just me. Now I want to hear from you. Who wins this game? Type Chiefs or Broncos down in the comments right now. Let's see how confident the Kingdom is heading into Sunday. And seriously, If you've enjoyed this full breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 6,000 subscribers, and your support is what keeps this community growing. Share this video with another Chiefs fan who lives and breathes this team like you. Do. It really helps us bring you daily content all season long. Next stop, Mile High. The Chiefs have the talent, the preparation, and the motivation. Now it's time to prove it. Until next time, thanks for watching. And as always, go Chiefs!